Welcome to Throne Talk, your go-to channel for all things royal, where we dive into the latest news, intriguing stories, and the occasional royal drama that keeps us all hooked. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join our royal family of viewers. Now let's jump right into today's topic, which is bound to spark some thoughts, some laughs, and maybe a bit of side-eye. Alright, so, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are back in the headlines. And surprise, surprise, it's not about a new Netflix series or a charity gala. Nope, this time, they're taking on the tech world. More specifically, Meta, the company behind Facebook and Instagram. Apparently, Meta decided to roll back third-party fact-checking and loosen up on content moderation. And let me tell you, Harry and Meghan were not having it. Through their Archwell Foundation, they issued a statement that pretty much said, "Hey, Meta, what are you doing?" They called the move deeply deceptive, and accused the company of prioritizing profits over public safety. It's like when your favorite bakery stops making your go-to pastry and tells you it's for the greater good, but you're just standing there, holding your coffee, thinking, no, this is for your pockets. But jokes aside, Harry and Meghan made a serious point about how decisions like these can lead to the spread of misinformation, hate speech, and even more division in society. They're basically saying that free speech doesn't mean free-for-all, and honestly, they've got a point. The internet is already a wild place, like a medieval battlefield, but instead of swords, people are flinging tweets and memes. Do we really need less moderation? Now, here's where it gets spicy. Some folks think Harry and Meghan are overstepping their bounds. Niall Gardiner, a director at the Heritage Foundation, came out swinging. He said their statement was a hugely inappropriate political rant, and accused them of making a mockery of the royal family. Ouch, right? That's like being told you brought store-bought dessert to a family potluck. The nerve. Gardiner's main gripe seems to be that royals, even former ones, are supposed to stay neutral and avoid politics. It's like an unspoken rule, kind of like how you're not supposed to discuss pineapple on pizza at a dinner party. But Harry and Meghan have clearly decided they're not playing by those old rules anymore. And let's be honest, this isn't the first time they've stirred the pot. Remember when they talked about mental health, racism, and even the environment? Some people love them for it, saying they're using their platform for good, while others feel like they're breaking royal protocol left and right. It's like watching a reality show where you're not sure whether to root for the underdog or stick with tradition. So, why does this particular issue hit a nerve? Well, for one, the internet and social media are hot-button topics. Everyone has an opinion on what should or shouldn't be allowed, and it's easy to get caught up in the debate. But when public figures like Harry and Meghan weigh in, it adds another layer of complexity. Are they just speaking their truth, or are they using their titles to push a personal agenda? That's the million-dollar question. And speaking of titles, let's not forget that even though they stepped back from royal duties, they're still the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Some critics argue that if they're going to wade into political waters, they should drop the titles altogether. But others say, hey, they earned those titles, and they're just trying to make a difference. It's like being caught between two friends arguing over who gets to control the playlist. You just want everyone to get along, but it's not that simple. Let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture. Meta's decision to ease up on fact-checking and moderation is part of a broader debate about free speech versus regulation. On one hand, you've got people saying, let's keep the internet free and open, and on the other, you've got folks warning about the dangers of misinformation and hate speech. It's a balancing act, and honestly, no one seems to have the perfect answer. But Harry and Meghan's involvement has definitely added fuel to the fire. Their critics are saying they should focus on other issues, like their charity work, while their supporters argue that this is exactly the kind of advocacy the world needs. And can we talk about how they've become a lightning rod for controversy? It's like they can't sneeze without someone accusing them of making a political statement. Remember when Meghan wore that black dress to a royal event and people thought it was some kind of subtle protest? The woman just likes black dresses. Okay? Not everything is a hidden message. Anyway, back to Meta and the tech world. This isn't the first time Harry and Meghan have taken on social media giants. They've been vocal about the impact of online hate and misinformation for years. In fact, they've shared their own experiences with cyberbullying and how it's affected their mental health. So their statement about Meta isn't coming out of nowhere. It's part of a larger pattern of them speaking out about issues they care about. And whether you agree with them or not, you've got to admit, they're consistent. They're like that friend who always brings up recycling at parties. Sure, it might get on your nerves, but you know they mean well. Now, let's take a moment to lighten things up. If you're enjoying this royal deep dive, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to Throne Talk. We've got plenty more royalty to spill, and trust me, you don't want to miss it. Okay, back to the drama. One of the big questions is whether Harry and Meghan's activism is actually making a difference. Critics argue that statements like these are more about grabbing headlines than creating real change. But their supporters point out that raising awareness is the first step toward action. It's like when you're trying to get everyone to recycle. First, you've got to get them to notice the bins, right? And let's not forget, they've got a massive platform. When they speak, people listen, whether they agree with them or not. And that kind of influence is rare. But it also comes with a lot of responsibility, and not everyone thinks they're using it wisely. Some people feel like they're out of touch, sitting in their Montecito mansion while lecturing the rest of us about social issues. It's a fair point, but at the same time, does that mean they shouldn't speak out at all? It's a tricky line to walk, and it seems like they're still figuring it out. So where do we go from here? Well, Meta's decision is probably not going to change just because Harry and Meghan said something. But their statement has added to the ongoing conversation about the role of social media in our lives. And who knows? Maybe it'll inspire other public figures to speak out as well. Or maybe it'll just be another chapter in the ongoing saga of Harry and Meghan versus the world. Either way, it's clear that they're not backing down. Love them or hate them, you've got to admire their determination. They're like the Energizer Bunny of royal drama. They just keep going and going. So what do you think about all this? Are Harry and Meghan making a difference, or are they just stirring the pot? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to Throne Talk for more royal updates and hot takes. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.